Guys, well played. Huge result. Mo, it just felt like from minute one today, you just smelt blood.
Yeah, it's crazy that the fans were behind us from the first minutes. And I'm glad we managed to win the game. We know City is going to come, try to win the game here, but we managed to play a good game and win the game.
Virgil, years and years of going up against this relentless machine, and to be fair, sometimes getting the better of them. But today, did you sense there was a vulnerability there?
After the game, it's always easy to say these things. I think City is a fantastic team. 4 times champions in a row, and they have quality to punish any team. I think we were very solid defensively. Offensively, we did our part as well. We created good chances and could have scored more. So overall, it's been a great day, and now we recover and be ready for another game on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was watching you actually when you went for the coin toss, and they turned you round, so you were shooting it into the cop first half. You looked really annoyed about that. But actually, did it end up working for you?
I was annoyed by the fact that he started the toss without me even acknowledging. I was obviously busy with my mascot Isaac, and obviously took a little bit of time, but he started the coin toss already quite quickly. So I was a little bit annoyed by that because I think just wait and. But anyway, good game. We won and we move on.
Mo, talk through that first goal. Hell of a ball for Cody.
Yeah, I'm a good player. So no, I think we train well to be in. Always, if you have the ball, the other side has to be in the second post. So. I told Cody before the game, every time I have the ball, and if the chance for me to play the ball to you, I will play it for sure. So I give him a few balls this season, him and Lucho as well. So we train that ball in training. We managed to do it in the game. It's great.
How special are days like this, Mo? How special is Anfield when it's like this?
It's very special. I said before, I don't take it for granted. I'm enjoying every minute here. It feels like home. So, yeah, it's a special feeling always scoring Anfield and win games.
Yeah, even more so at the moment. You've been fairly vocal about your own sort of future and situation. Do you enjoy it more? Because maybe it's, there's not maybe another City home game left.
Of course. Honestly, that was in my head. Like, this is probably until now the last City game I play for Liverpool. So I'm just going to enjoy it. The atmosphere was incredible, so I'm enjoying every second here, and hopefully we just win the league and see what will happen.
Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you, but what I will ask you: 11 points to City, 9 points to second. How significant is that?
Listen, we focus on the next one. That's the only thing we can do, and that's.
You don't talk about it at all.
No, I don't, of course not. There's no point in this stage of the season to get ahead of ourselves. Obviously, everyone wants to be in a position where they, in this case, 11 points in front of the opponent today. But so many twists and turns. Now we have some injuries as well to our team, unfortunately, and we have to deal with that as well. And it's game by game, and stay calm. But games like this, and when you win it like this, it's always a good feeling. And now we're back to recovery and be ready for a very tough on the way.
Okay, so there was a big debate about player of the match between yourself and the man next to you.
Okay, we give it to him.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Yeah, we give it to him.
I had a few, so you can give it.
Oh yeah. So who picked him?
Gary Neville.
Okay, yeah, well done.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm surprised that Cara didn't give it to you. But
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't give it to him.
Oh, here we go. We're on Pundit watch here. Pundit's being analysed by players.
Listen to any of that.
Okay. Well done. Well done.
They enjoyed it. That's the screenshot for Liverpool fans all around the world tonight, beating Manchester City by 2-0. We'll talk about that atmosphere, which we were very privileged to experience today in a moment. But just to pick up on what Mo Salah was saying there, on the back of what he said at Southampton last week that we were discussing on the Final Word show, he said that probably my last game for Liverpool here against Manchester City. Is this the game of chess continuing?
Well, there's obviously been no conversation since he last came out and dropped the bomb type of thing, has he? So, it was an interesting thing to say in an interview, of course. But, what's the alternative? I suppose you say no comment and things like that. That's how he feels at the moment. He said the same, a week or so ago. I'm more out than in, was his quote last week. And that's where things are at the moment. I'm sure there will be further negotiation. There's a long time between now and the end of the season. The crowd absolutely adore him. The club adore him. He adores the club. He's just one of the most incredible players with great success, playing in a team that are, on top of the world at the moment. I still believe, I can't bring myself to think that he won't be here last season. But obviously with comments like that, it does make you wonder.
Where are you with this, Kolo?
He just said probably. That means there's a probability for him to stay, which I think is good for Liverpool. Of course, he's a fantastic player, and definitely if he goes, they will miss him because he's a goal scorer. He's a guy who can create goal. He's a guy who helped the team when they are in tough moment, like the penalty he scored today. And but we know in the game that sometimes players at that age, they sometimes go for the bigger money, I will say. And but we hope that he stay in the Premier League, of course.
The one thing that I think, if you're wanting to go, if you're thinking of going, you try to avoid it. You don't really want to speak about it. You almost let the days and games tick away. And I think that's what it almost. It's not a cry to, an appeal or anything, but I do think just the way he's speaking about it, he's almost putting Liverpool, the football club's hand to the fire in a way and saying, I'm telling you now, I'm telling the whole world what you're going to do about it. The crowd now won't be too happy. Liverpool supporters around the world won't be too happy if the club.
And he knows people like us will then be discussing it.
Exactly. But if he didn't want to stay, he wouldn't want to be. Why would he be saying that? Why would he be saying, they haven't spoken to me and things like that? So I think there's still a little bit of water under the bridge to go on this one.
Look, he's a top player, but he's a good businessman as well. He really is a good businessman. And this is a business, right? Okay? Loves the place. Place is singing his name. He absolutely adores it here. Why not? He's got in such a position of strength right now. And he's only telling the truth, right? He's only telling the truth. He can't give us anything other than the truth. It's just quite hard to hear and quite interesting to hear because it's so dramatic. But he's only telling the truth. Incredible player, very good businessman.
Well, City, we hope he's not here because he scored more goals against City than any other player. That was number 12 today.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent today. I'd love to be a forward player because the hard work that went on in that team, that Liverpool team today, turning the ball over that first 15 minutes. Szoboszlai, incredible. Mo Salah chipped in behind. Great ball into Gakpo and then getting to score the penalty at the end. All the headlines are about him, but that was such a good team performance by Liverpool.
Let's have a look at how the penalty came about for Mo Salah to score his latest goal against Manchester City.
Yeah, well, I think the one complaint here from Manchester City is that Mo Salah was in an offside position. You see him there at the top of the screen, and if that ball, and he starts making a move towards it. However, that's the debate. I think it's fine personally.
What about the City goalkeeper's point of view here? Does that affect Ortega's decision in any way, Joe?
That was the first time I had it in mind to really work out what he was thinking, and I think immediately Salah makes an impression that he's not going for that ball. I think it's very intelligent from Mo Salah actually, and Ortega realises he's going to have to deal with Diaz. There's that obvious turnover that no one wants to see, that no one expects. As I say, when Man City were playing backwards today, I thought they were really poor, whereas usually it's just an option to recycle. They look vulnerable. I think that's perfectly fine, perfectly fair.
I think for me, the variety of Liverpool of playing short passing and playing long when they need it was crucial today. And I think that City struggled a lot with that because City liked to put the pressure, but Liverpool was not afraid to play the ball behind. 1v1 running in your goal for a defender is always difficult, and we saw that on the penalty here.
Yeah, the more I see it, the more I think it's absolutely fine. I can understand people discussing it. I can understand if Pep Guardiola says I think it's offside, but it's not. It's not. I mean, he doesn't really make an attempt to go to the ball or to play the ball. Yeah, he's in an offside position, but that's not an offence in itself. He doesn't run directly. Look, he runs 5 metres to the side of it. He's constantly running in parallel to the ball. That's not offside. That's a good decision, and that's a definite penalty.
Yeah, I think intelligent play all round. And it was really interesting to see the battle, Luis Diaz versus Kyle Walker. We were right up close to it. They were smashing each other the whole time, trying to get one-ups, and I think Diaz won the battle today.
And we saw, obviously, Mo Salah at the other end here in the week in the Champions League against Real Madrid, missed the target completely from the penalty, but very well, coolly taken today.
It was a lovely penalty, right in the corner. And as you say, that has to be going through your mind. If you've missed a penalty only a few days ago, then, of course, you're going to be thinking about it. And then to have the calmness to place one right into the bottom corner it just shows you his mental strength. I know, I've done it myself. You take a penalty, you miss one, the next one you are a little bit panicky. I tend to go for pace after that, thinking, do you know what, just smack it as hard as you can and make sure you keep it underneath the bar. But really, calmness is the way forward, and he showed great mental strength for that.
Mind you, this is a guy who's got 29 of 35 Premier League penalties now, so we shouldn't really be doubting Mo Salah too much. He's a big moment player as well as a big game player, Kolo.
Absolutely. That's why he's Mo Salah. That's why he's special. In the big moment, he will step up. He will take the responsibility to shoot the penalty. So many players will just turn their back and think like, oh, I missed a very important penalty against Real Madrid, and then this time I just give to somebody. You just step up, get the ball, and score, which was a big moment, because I felt like City were coming back a little bit.
I was just about to say that. Did you feel that at 1-0, that there was a chink of light for Manchester City before that penalty?
There certainly was a chink of light. There was some good football being played, but I thought Liverpool looked really controlled. Obviously in the first half, this was coming. You could really feel this first goal coming. Brilliant movement, great ball across from Salah. But the second half that we were just talking about there, it wasn't necessarily happening. But yeah, like I say, this first half was breathless.
Yeah, they played that ball a lot, didn't they, into this right-hand side for Mo Salah to chase. And, I mean, he's so quick. And then once he picks the ball up, he lifts his head up, smacks it right across the back post. I think Kyle Walker would be disappointed to let Cody Gakpo get ghost in there, and Gakpo does really well. Gakpo's having a really good season himself.
6 in 8 at Anfield now.
Really good. And do you know what I like? Some people would hit that over, Some people always try to hit it in the middle of the ball with their boot. Sometimes let it hit you. Take the pace off the... Even if it hits you on the shin or on the knee or anywhere, just make sure you sort of guide it into the... That was never going to go over. And I had an opportunity to, Steve. It looks easy. But that ball was coming across with pace, and he's having a really good season. But Mo Salah, he was the difference again today.
When you play higher line like that, like Man City, you expect your goalkeeper to be a little bit high up to just cover for a long ball. But that ball from Alexander-Arnold is just on the side, and the goalkeeper can't get there. And that creates a big problem then for the back line, because they are late, they're running. And Mo Salah done really well there. He just fixed Kanji and put the ball there. I'm a little bit disappointed with the goalkeeper, because the ball there,
Ortega.
I think he can touch it. Yeah, if he can touch the ball there. And for me, he should touch that ball. And for Kyle Walker, I think it's a little bit difficult, because the ball goes in the goal, and there's a moment as a defender you just have to stop a little bit. That's my opinion as a defender, of course.
No,
not having it. Union.
Not having it. No chance. I think it's an incredible ball. The more I see it, he's just, obviously the way he answered it, he's a good player, as Mo Salah pointed out. But he is, oh my God, that ball is absolutely beautiful, in between about 3 or 4 Man City players, just out of Ortega's grasp. If he gets a feather, maybe he does. Kolo, what do you want him to do there? Be honest with me.
I just want him to touch the ball there.
He did.
He touched it, but not enough, in my opinion. Because as a defender, when you're running to your goal, it's really hard to touch that ball. Because if you touch it, it's on goal, really, because it's inside the 6 yard, and it's difficult, in my opinion.
And that goal was coming, wasn't it? At that point, I mean, Liverpool were absolutely all over them. And when this place is buzzing like that, when the players feed from it, I said at half-time, I've watched Liverpool for years and years and years now. When they're in that type of form, I don't know what anybody can do. That's the best manager in the world sat there. It's probably the best team we've seen in years and years, if not ever, in the Premier League. I just don't know how you can stop those waves of attack. Liverpool are so good. The atmosphere is so... I don't know what... I mean, if you're in the dugout, how can you prevent it?
It's very hard. It's very, very difficult, because the intensity they start the game on, it was incredible. And the pressing, every time they get the ball, the transition to go forward, and every pass was going forward, and they were really, really aggressive as well. And you could see, like in second half, they lost a little bit of energy, which give Man City the control of the game. And of course, defensively, they look really solid. Van Dijk was unbelievable. We spoke with Hart there. He was like a magnet. Every ball was coming on him, calm. And I think De Bruyne had a big chance to score, but he missed it in 2-1, but to make it 2-1. But this is those games happen like that.
Yeah, the other end, that's 7 clean sheets, as well as having the best defence in the Premier League for Liverpool.
Yeah, I was so impressed talking about Van Dijk. He marshalled Haaland, that threat. He felt isolated up there, and he looked it, and Van Dijk realised that, and he just put himself in the best position. Every time a ball came in, he was there. Obviously, for that one slip, and you saw him. You don't really see much animation from Virgil van Dijk, but when Kelleher made that save off De Bruyne, the little hug, that's a huge statement from Virgil van Dijk, because he doesn't climb down from how he likes to be on the pitch and how he walks around with such authority, but they're playing well as a unit. And Kelleher stepping up for his team in a big moment. You never know. It was all comfortable. It was done 2-0. You know, people getting on Pep's back. Bang. Turnover. Slight lack of concentration from Van Dijk, but a really important save.
I was going to ask you about him because they were talking about injuries. I mean, when Alisson comes out of the team, as good as he is, a lot of these Liverpool fans, what's going to happen? Is the best compliment to Quevin Kelleher to say, haven't really noticed the difference?
It's not even a conversation, is it? And I heard them trying to get behind him. They came up with Ireland's number one today because they've backed Alisson. They love Alisson here, of course they do. But for him to come in and do what he's doing for his team, incredible performance, and it's seamless. And that is the biggest compliment you can get as a goalkeeper, to come into a team, to come into a club, title chase in Anfield against Manchester City, and for that not even to be a conversation. We heard the conversation that was going on in the other dugout, what was going on the other end of the pitch. Not even a conversation. Is Alisson fit yet? Not sure. If he is, he'll probably play. If he's not, don't worry, we've got Kelleher.
And also, we had a conversation, and we haven't mentioned his name since, about missing Konate. Joe Gomez, a young Joe Gomez that you played with here at Liverpool, in seamlessly again.
It was incredible. It was incredible. He played very, very well, very calm. And he played that diagonal ball. It was unbelievable today. And he was very composed. And I knew that he was going to play well, because I know the boy is very calm boy, very intelligent. You know, he doesn't complain too much. When you give him the opportunity to come up and step up and play in those big games, he delivers. And I'm not surprised with his performance. It was, was great.
No Alisson, no Konate, no problem.
Exactly, two of their biggest, best players, important players, and as you say, that's what squads are for.
Yeah, and I think live we're going to be joined by the Liverpool manager Arne Slot on the back of this 2-0 victory against Manchester City. Very well done. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. So, I mean, you've had some week, we'll come to that in a moment, but how did you enjoy that today, and how good a performance from your team was that today?
Yeah, I think I've enjoyed two things. First of all, the performance of the team, and second of all, the atmosphere in the stadium.
It was something,
because
wasn't
if
it?
the players were on top of it, I think the fans were on top of it today as well.
Yeah, put that into perspective, because even we, who've been coming here for years and years and years, thought that was extra special from the supporters today.
Okay.
So just how did that feel in the dugout as the manager to feed off that?
Generally speaking, you're only focused on what City does and what we have to do, because they can cause you so many problems. So you have to keep staying alert all the time. I think it was 10 minutes before the end, even before Virgil make the only mistake of the game. The fans were so loud. At that moment you felt like, okay, this is something new for me as well. They've been behind us every single game, but this was really massive. But yeah, then Virgil cut me out of it by making a small error. But Cruyff was there to save us.
He was. And at the start as well, I mean, obviously you got the goal after 12 minutes, but the way you started today, Arne, I mean, I think front foot's something of an understatement.
Yeah, but that probably also has to do with City, who wanted to bring the ball out from back. That's what they always do. That's what they're so good at. So if you want to have any chance of recovering a ball, then you have to be so aggressive. If you're not, they play through you so easily. So the only way to press them high is be aggressive, and that's what we were. I think most part of the game, although the second half we had to defend low as well.
Arne, it was an incredible first half, as good as I've seen at Anfield for a long time. In the second half, City had a little bit more possession. Was that a tactic from you to almost sit back and play a little bit more counter-attacking, or is that just because they're a quality team and you had to suffer at certain periods?
Yeah, the last thing. So ideally we would have done the same as the first half. But yeah, you face a team that has so much quality, and I think after we made the substitution again, when Darwin came in, we had that same aggression again, and maybe the legs again to press them a bit higher. But yeah, it also comes down to the quality of City. It's impossible to keep them away from your 18-yard box for 90 minutes. But it was a good thing to see, if they were in and around the 18-yard box, that we were still there to defend.
For me, I just think like, do you think you were a little bit worried because at the start of the game your pressing was incredible and you should have been like so 3-0 really, and then it didn't happen, and 1-0 was, I think, a tough score, and there is a moment where I felt like the energy dropped a little bit. You were a little bit worried in that moment, thinking we have to be careful there.
Yeah, you're always happy if you're 1-0 up against City, because that doesn't happen a lot for any team in the world, and also for us, not in the last few games. The rain is coming down. But yeah, if you looked at the amount of chances we had, I think 1-0 after whatever period of time wasn't what we deserved. But yeah, there was a lot of confidence in the way we defended as well. So yeah, then again, if we would have scored earlier, the nerves would have probably been a little bit less. But maybe it's also part of this game, because I think everybody enjoyed it till the last minute.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just really interested to hear your thoughts. Such an incredible team you've got, Mo Salah, Szoboszlai, these kind of players who can dominate a game like this. But to see Joe Gomez come in, Queeve Kelleher, if you like, understudies in the squad, but I thought they were incredible today. How do you feel getting to know your team, get to know your players, your confidence as a squad? How are you feeling in December?
People once told me that wearing this is a problem for a manager, but not if he holds it.
I know my vacation in life, Arne. Go on, sorry.
No, but that is definitely the strength you need to have as a team that wants to compete at different stages. So we play Champions League, we play Premier League. All these games are so tough. So you need to have a full squad of quality players, and that's what we're having. But you probably also saw today that we only have 5 defenders available for 4 positions. That was also the reason why I took Trent off, because he comes back from a hamstring injury to play him 90 and Wednesday again and Saturday again in the Merseyside derby. So we need to rotate also in that position. But it wasn't a surprise for the Liverpool fans, because they saw Joe Gomez playing like this for so many times. And I saw him against Brighton playing like this, and today he was outstanding again. Yeah.
And just very quickly, I mean, I know you don't look at the league table after 13 games, but
we do. But
let's be honest. Could you have dreamt of being 9 points clear at this point?
No, first of all, not, because you don't look at before you come over here and how many games you're going to win. And if you would have even considered us to win so many, then you probably would have thought that maybe one of these others would win that much as well. But they were able to do so. I saw Arsenal playing yesterday, outstanding team. Chelsea today invested so much money, so they will be up there again as well. And City, I saw them playing today. Okay, they lost today, but I'm 100% sure that they will compete this season again with us, with Arsenal and with Chelsea. So a long way to go, but it's a good position to have.
Certainly is. Listen, very well done today. Thank you for joining us. You do realise the amount of stick I'm going to get now for holding a brolly for the Liverpool manager.
Thank you.
No problem, Arne. Take care.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Let's put that down there before Michael gives me any more stick.
Wally with the brolly.
Well, the Wally with the brolly. Right, OK, that's the happy side of the story. The other side is Manchester City's. Let's get some reaction from their dressing room. Here's the goalkeeper, Stefan Ortega.
You seem to be conceding a lot of goals from when the ball goes out in wide positions into space, and I know you've had a good view of it from the dugout as well. Is that becoming an issue?
I don't know. It's just like sometimes you have this run in the last years in this club. They had the opposite, like where we won everything, and now it's the opposite, where we have the negative run. So it's just like keep going, because there's still so much quality in this building. So yeah, just keep going.
And Pep turned around to the Liverpool fans and showed them 6 fingers, the 6 trophies, defiance. There's a lot of fight still in that dressing room, Stefan.
Yeah, of course, because we are not used to it to lose that many games. And yeah, we will come back for sure.
And just finally, 11 points is a lot, isn't it, Liverpool? Yeah. The distance between you and them.
I don't know. We just have to look on ourselves right now and start to win, and then just go step by step.
Manchester City's worst winless run since 2004. We've gone up in the stakes from the Liverpool manager to Steve McManaman.
Of course
he's got a couple of Champions Leagues to go on a slot yet before he reaches your level. What did you make? You were just alongside. What did you make of that today? And the whole atmosphere, the whole ground.
Oh yeah, it was magnificent, wasn't it? The fans, the crowd, the noise. I thought the team, Liverpool, were very, very dominant. As dominant a performances I've seen against Manchester City in a while. Very impressive. Manchester City, on the other hand, I thought they were a little bit naive in the first half, trying to play out from the back and constantly getting caught. And I felt sorry for Erling Haaland. He wasn't really in the game. They didn't knock anything long to him when it wasn't working. But you can't get away from the fact that Liverpool, whoever plays, who's ever in the starting 11, is in wonderful, wonderful form. And, the fans left here very, very happy.
You, myself, Michael, we've had this conversation earlier on. You were one. Let's not get too carried away.
Course,
They've not played anybody yet. When you look at it now...
I never said that.
Earlier on.
No.
You said the big boys are still
the big boys are going to come,
Arsenal, Chelsea,
come
Manchester
New Year,
City.
I said, absolutely.
But now they've played them all, and they haven't lost to any of them. They've beaten most of them.
Yes, and again... I'm not going to stand here with you, Steve, and say, they're going to win the league and they're going to be this. I mean, the performances and the level of performances have been outstanding. The results equally. You know, they've got now a big lead ahead of everybody else. So it's up to Liverpool now to keep on rolling along. But I'm not going to say they should win the league because of X, Y and Z. I've said before, you have to keep everybody fit. You have to keep everybody hungry. And if they do get a number of injuries to key players, they will struggle. But at this moment in time, they're in such a dominant position. It's fantastic to see.
To beat the European champions and the English champions in a space of 4 days without conceding a goal here.
It's some week, isn't it? You look at that and you think Real Madrid and then Manchester City. You know, they're in a good position already in the Champions League, so even if they had got a draw, it would have been absolutely fine. But to dominate them and then to come here and dominate the reigning champions as well, and it was a total domination. I mean, City deserved nothing out of that game. It's impressive, and as Maka says, they're in great form at the moment. But we've seen, so was City 2 months ago. And they've been in great form for 4, 5, 6 years. So it just shows you things can go wrong. One big injury, one problem off the pitch. Something can happen and it can derail you in this game. So everybody's right in thinking, right, just a game at a time. And I know it sounds boring and monotonous, but it is. It's a game at a time because things can go wrong quite quickly. But at the moment, I mean, if Liverpool keep this form, they're going to win the league 100%. I mean, that's the problem.
You sense this, Marco, in that great Real Madrid team that you played in. When you get on the pitch, the belief you've got. If you're in that Liverpool dressing room at the moment, it doesn't matter who you're playing. When you come out, Real Madrid, Manchester City, you're believing you're going to win every game.
Yes, and
what's
also
that like? What's that?
Yes, but Steve, you've heard the noise. You heard the noise here Wednesday. You heard it today. You know, if you're a member of the opposition and you come here, you almost feel as if you're 1-0 down when you run out of the tunnel. And they were constantly singing and getting behind the team and whistling the opposition. That really plays a part. And you know, the fact that Liverpool are coming out onto the pitch, they feel as if they're just going to run over Manchester City. That's what you felt today. You felt if Liverpool were at it, that midfield, you just thought Gundogan in there, Nunez in there, Bernardo Silva, you just thought Liverpool will have them today. Liverpool will run all over them today. And I thought exactly the same when they played Real Madrid. Real Madrid had a few weaknesses, of course, through injuries. And that's what you thought about Manchester City. Without Rodri, without Kevin De Bruyne, star names of the past, you just thought to yourself today, Liverpool will win. And you were waiting for something to happen to prove you wrong. And actually, it was never coming, wasn't it? As Michael rightly said there. Manchester City didn't really offer much, even with the substitutions. I thought Doku came on I thought he did well when he came on to a certain extent. But there was no final punch to what Manchester City had, and that's very, very rare to say because normally they are ruthless. So they have to find a way to get back into this title race. They need to start getting wins from somewhere. They need to change it round. I don't know what they're going to do, but they certainly need to get one of the best centre forwards around at the moment into the game more because he hardly got a touch today. I thought Gomez, and considering he hasn't played, and Van Dijk were brilliant.
I think when you lose a little bit of confidence, because as a top team, they've never been in that situation. And at the moment, every player from this team are losing a little bit of confidence, and that's really difficult. And they need something. They need to win a game, and then the belief to come again. You know, because as a player, it's always really, really tough when you go in those moments.
Yeah, you could tell, Kolo, they've not been in this situation before. As I said it before the game. A lot of the players haven't experienced full stop in their career, and certainly in their, the modern day Manchester City's career. So they were just looking at each other. Who's going to step up? And I actually didn't see anyone necessarily taking control of the game. Rico Lewis tried to take a few balls on the half turn. Other than that, Haaland, as you said, Maka, he barely touched the ball. They didn't, and any time they did get their head up, Van Dijk had his number. He was ready. He was waiting. He knew. He could tell when Man City was almost a desperate ball into the middle, and he said, "Yes, please. I'll deal with that all day long." And then there was just, Arne Slot just talked about that one lapse in concentration. But we know Kevin De Bruyne in form there. Yeah. Slots that, goes and gets the ball out the net and makes it an interesting last 10 minutes. But didn't even the whole stadium didn't really skip a beat. He saved it. They moved on, and it was like it never happened.
From the start of the game, there is a few moments where Bernardo Silva, which is the calmest player in the team, he smashed two balls. Ball coming, normally you control the ball and then just get control of the game. But from the start, you could feel like they lost a little bit of confidence and they need to get that back. It only will come by winning a game, and that's it.
Yeah, they play Forest, of course, next, who are the only team to beat Arne Slot here. I don't know if you heard the Mo Salah interview there.
I didn't know, sorry.
He joked and he said, probably the last time I play for Liverpool at Anfield against Manchester City. Well, you're laughing. Is this a game of chess here?
Of course it is. I mean, Steve, we don't know the nuances of his contract. I don't know whether he wants 4 years or 3 years or 2. You know, Liverpool want to offer 2, for instance. He might want 4. You know, you can imagine Mo Salah's contract is very complicated, image rights, because of where he's from and things like that. And I don't necessarily think there should be a problem financially, but it might just be a case of him wanting 4 years. Who knows? But if that's the case, I know Liverpool are certainly talking to his agents, and they must be far apart at the moment. That's why there hasn't been any concrete offer. It's pointless Liverpool making an offer for him to say no straight away, isn't it? Or his agent to say no. So I presume they'll be still talking, and hopefully all the Liverpool fans will agree that they come to a happy medium to a certain extent. But I can understand why it's taken time. I've got no problem with it, really. I mean, if he wants 10 years and Liverpool say no when he wants 10 years, then it's going to be a no, isn't it? So you have to draw the line somewhere. But we all hope that they come to an agreement.
How do you see it in terms of, because he's gone vocal and he's gone public, does that show to you that he actually does want to sign?
Yeah,
and
I think so.
It's just almost putting Liverpool's hand to the fire in many ways, and almost, you know.
That's exactly how I think. I think he wants to stay.
I
think he wants to stay. Because if he wants to leave, he might as well have already told us that he wants to leave, wouldn't he? You know, he's only got a couple of weeks on. But I mean, most clubs would have been in touch with his agent already if they want to take him. So he knows that there's probably lots and lots of offers on the table for him already. And he's probably just pushing Liverpool to get what he wants to stay here. Otherwise, why would you be so vocal? But you also know that Liverpool want him to stay. But the deal has to be right for both parties, doesn't it? You can't just ask for the world and hope that Liverpool get it because he's a superstar, because it doesn't work like that.
Would you push? He is different.
Yes.
We know he's different. He scores lots of goals and he's never misses a game. If the clubs, you know, if Liverpool say no, at that age we only give 2-year contracts out max, let's say, would you bend the rules slightly for someone like that?
If you were the club, you mean?
I think so.
You got to.
Yeah,
what do you mean, Michael? If you were the club?
If you were the club,
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we don't know what the contract offers are we? And we're always speculating all the time. But of course, someone of his ilk, you know, he looks after himself. He's got a great disposition. He's very rarely injured. He doesn't seem to be slowing down. You know, 2 years with an option of a third is not a problem, is it? You would have thought. But again, I don't know what his agent wants. I don't know what Mo wants. I don't know whether it's financial. I don't know whether he wants a huge pay rise on what he's got now, which is a lot of money. So you have to be able to justify everything, whether it's whether it's wages, whether it's length of contract. You have to be able to justify it to everybody else, because you might come up short if someone gets a bad injury. You never know.
And he's not 33 till next summer. Well, we'll watch that space. Thank you very much indeed, Mac and Mo Salah on the score sheet against Manchester City again in this victory today, as long as Manchester City have gone now 7 games without a win.
Well, Pep, it probably wasn't realistic to think you would come here and everything would be perfect and confidence would be at the top level, but what do you make of what you have seen?
Well, the first 50-20 minutes they were unstoppable, their strengths were strong. We tried to, with the conditions that we have, play with a lot of control, a lot of passes. It was difficult to take it, and after we took the game. Of course, they will deserve the first goal, and but we finished really good the first half and the second without not too much threat. So I know how strong they are in the boxes, Liverpool in both sides, and don't do mistakes. And after you know. Up front, the transitions always had but since I met Liverpool, so, and congratulate them and restart from here, try to make a reset from zero, and it's difficult to believe it, but I rely a lot with these players. I know how they are doing and in that position, and at the end of the season we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you said that you picked a team to try and play lots of short passes, to try and control it. How difficult is that to do here, and could your team have done it any better?
Yeah, always you can do it, but there are players that make an effort playing in not his positions, and because we don't have an alternatives, and all I can say thank you to them, because I know the commitment that they do without the ball. I know that. I don't know. Maybe it's something inside of me that I had the feeling that we will build from here. Restart and try to make some good run and try to win games.
What will it take then to reset? I think you said to build from here. What will it need?
No, there is a moment that there are moments that maybe we'll have to make a click and we'll do a click and everything. So today Kevin make a good minutes because we need that pace and didn't have when I see the last games, and Jack played good in that position as well, and Jeremy got a good minutes after 1 month out. So so Bernardo, Rico, and a lot of minutes in his legs, and Nathan was exceptional against maybe one of the most toughest wingers ever, and with Salah. So I take something. So congratulate, I would say, Liverpool. They deserve the victory and accepted the situation right now and build from that.
How tough or how significant is not just the injuries, but the players that are out there, maybe having to come back into the team early, so there's guys out there who aren't 100% fit themselves.
Yeah, that's what it is. With the pre-season as well. Pre-season, we don't have pre-season, started Community Shield, and the players come back a bit late and after injuries. And I know, but we had to survive with that. So I think we compete. We didn't create that much chances, but in certain moments we were there in terms of what we wanted for the pace that we have right now in the middle, especially. So in terms of duels, they are stronger, and you have to survive with the ball. If the game is transitions, we don't have Gundo and Rico and Bernardo, or I don't know, to make a transition the 30-40 meters that they have with Gravenberg, it was Salah or McAllister, and the pace up front. So, and we had to we do it, but I cannot forget which players I have. So I cannot forget, and I'm here sitting being a manager, defending what we have done in the past thanks to them, and more than ever I want to be with them and help them, and of course we have to change results, but in the right time we will take the decision.
You talked there about defending what you've done in the past. We saw you hold 6 fingers up to the crowd during the game, again at the end.
All the stadiums want to sack me. Oh my God. I started with Brighton. Maybe they're right. Maybe I must be sacked for the results that we have. But I didn't expect an Anfield that. So
you didn't?
No. With 0-1, I 1-0 for them, didn't do it. With 2-0, and maybe we should do it in the past, sing the song in the past, not now. Now let's take advantage. I didn't expect for the people from Liverpool, but it's fine. It's part of the game. I understand completely and accept it. And we had an incredible battles together. They win, we won, and I have a respect, and that's it.
Is this going to be not just a day, but a year where they win at 11 points behind them now? Are we going to have new Premier League champions this season, do you think?
Well, I said before that game that we are not in the position and the results we are getting to think about in the big targets, but the season is long and we have to try to make a result, and after we come back, some players will come back, and after everything will be better and we'll be late maybe, I don't know, but there are many things to fight, and yeah, we're going to try.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
Well, understandably, Pep Guardiola hasn't really answered that question, and perhaps you wouldn't expect him to as the Manchester City manager. But Joe Hart is going to answer that question. 11 points. So it's only happened 3 times in Premier League history. More than that, a team's come back to win the league. Can they win it from here?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I was squirming when he was asking that question there. It's just uncomfortable. He's never, ever going to climb down, is he? He can't stand there and say, no, I think...
No, the manager can't, but our pundit can. So
what do you want me to say?
I want you to answer my question.
I fully believe in this team.
Can they win the league from 11 points behind Liverpool from here?
Technically, I'll answer your question. Of course they can. They can romp it, because there's plenty of games to go. But look, I'm being completely realistic. That was impressive today. Really impressive from Liverpool. Top of the league, 11 points clear. Hard to see a gap. We talk about injuries, but I saw injuries in the Liverpool team today. I thought they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The players that came in and replaced them, they've got boys to come back in. It's going to be the hardest task possible But of course they're capable. I know they're capable. We all know they're capable, but something needs to happen really quickly.
Kolo, you've played for both. What do you think? Can City catch them, or indeed is it more about Liverpool not really having a chink in their armour to lose that deficit?
We know the Premier League. The Premier League is a league where anything can happen, and I think that Liverpool are dominating right now, but there is a moment where they're gonna maybe not win every game, and we know that in the Premier League it can go very quickly. You lose one game and then you can lose another one, like City is doing right now. And I think for me they're in really good run. They have to keep doing what they're doing, but don't think it's done right now. And City always been behind at time, and they came back. And I still think that the points are still there. We are a long way from the end of the season. Anything can happen in this league.
Liverpool will drop 11 points or more. I'm certain of that between now and the end of the season. I just don't think Manchester City are capable right now of winning too many games on the spin.
So they're
to
out
catch.
of it for you?
I think so. I think Arsenal are Liverpool's biggest dangers now. They've got a lot of injuries, Man City. They're lacking confidence. Do you know what? I think the points total could actually even extend before it starts reducing. You know, the way Liverpool are playing at the moment, the way Man City are playing. Liverpool are going to continue winning the way they're playing, and City are going to continue dropping points the way they're playing at the moment. So I would say the favourite is going to be 13, then 14, then 15 points maybe in the next few weeks. It's entirely possible. And as I say, I think just, if Man City were playing well at the moment, I'd say, yeah, they can catch them. But Liverpool are playing so well and Man City are playing so badly that I can see the gap growing, if anything, in the next few weeks.
I do well to argue with that. I really would. But that's the thing, because they've not just lost to Liverpool having a great game today. They lost at Bournemouth, they lost to Brighton, they've lost to teams that supposedly they walk out and they roll over. And now they're going to go playing Forest next week. They get the teams, that invincibility, stood there in the tunnel thinking, we've all experienced it. We've played against teams and been teams where people have been stood next to us thinking, I'd take a 2-0 and get out of here today. That's what people have felt against Manchester City in recent years. I don't think they're going to be feeling that next week in the Nottingham Forest tunnel. They're going to be thinking, how can we get at these players? We can get a result here. But Liverpool, on the other hand, their opposition, they'll be stood there thinking, if we get away with a good 2-0 loss here, then we've done all right.
You've played for Pep. We've said it's uncharted territory. He's never been in this situation in his managerial career. But if anyone can come back from it, surely the greatest we've seen in the Premier League era can.
Unfortunately, I haven't played. I played under him, but I think he's a winner. He's been in club who used to win, and he will never give up. He will keep pushing the players. He will keep believe that they can come back. And I think for me, they're still putting the performance. They've been really, really unlucky at time, and I think that they have to defend better, especially on the transition. And I think they will find a way to win a game, definitely. And for us, it's a big, big game for me, for City. Because if they win that, the mentality change again. Because we've been a player. When you're losing the game, like I said before, you lose confidence. But as soon as you win, confidence come back again. It doesn't matter which game. It can be like a game you play against a team that are not a top team. And then you just have the belief, and then you start winning games, and the belief come, and you keep going until the end of the season. That can happen.
Have we seen that with your other former club, Arsenal, in the last couple of weeks, the way it switched in the last 7 days, for instance?
Absolutely, exactly. And I think that that's football, and we never know what happened. But for me, I always think confidence is massive for players. You could see City 2-3 months ago, everybody was thinking City win every game, no problem. But now we could see from losing one game, second game, third game, now they're in tough situation. And that can happen to any other team. Football is something special.
What was nice is we saw Pep Guardiola's personality coming out. They talked about it there when we were right by him and they were saying you're going to get sacked in the morning. He was reminding the Liverpool fans of exactly how many Premier League titles he's won.
Hey, look, he's got to stand up for himself. To be in the position that he's in, he's got to believe in himself. He's got to have confidence. And he's not lying, is he? You got to smell blood, and Anfield was on it today, and look, you have to defend yourself. You have to defend yourself as a Manchester City manager, as a Manchester City player, because they got beat fair and square today. But he needs to send a message out. We are winners. We have won before, and we will win again.
And in terms of the way that atmosphere went, we heard Arne Slot there saying, look, I hadn't heard that as Liverpool manager until today. It had that extra something, didn't it, this ground today?
It did, yeah. I mean, this place rises. It rises on European nights. It rises in the big Premier League games that matter. It's a great place to play football, full stop. But there's something special about it on a special night. And who drives who? You know, is it the players? Well, they started really quick, and then the crowd. You know, or is it the other way round? There's a great atmosphere, and it spurs the players into. But I think it takes two to tango, and I think both players and fans have got a special bond around here, always have done, and Liverpool started really quickly today, and they never looked back. It was an unbelievable, and I think Arne Slot, probably that's the first time he's really experienced something whereby he thought, do you know what?
You could sense that by his body language when he spoke to us, couldn't you?
What a club I'm managing.
Almost blown over by it, wasn't he?
He knew it. He knew it when he signed here, but I think he knows now that this place, they can almost be unbeatable. When the team are at it, when the fans are at it, there's something special around here.
Well, as weeks go, to beat the European champions and the champions of England without conceding a goal, I mean, in terms of injection of belief, doesn't come any bigger than that, does it? Incredible. Manchester City, Real Madrid, probably the two best teams in Europe over the last 10 years. And Liverpool have beaten them both, and comfortably. Michael, Kolo, Joe, thank you very much indeed for your company all day here today. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have as well. Matchday Live on the road for you at the biggest fixture. And it was a big and significant win again for Arne Slot and Liverpool. From the four of us, we'll see you soon.